Hello, my name is Karen Formica, and I'm here with Carol Johnson. And we are both very excited that Daryl and Cheryl Fennessy are going to be speaking at the Village Church on November the 10th. Now, Carol, you know them a lot better than I do. What can you tell us about Daryl and Cheryl?
Yeah, we have known them since they were candidates preparing to work overseas as international workers. Cheryl trained in nursing, and Daryl was in the military as a Green Beret.
Wow.
They both studied at the Alliance Seminary in Nyack, New York, and we attended the same church in that area. But they have had the most unusual career as any of our international workers.
What do you mean by that, Carol?
Well, Daryl and Cheryl were first sent to Beirut, Lebanon. First, they had to master Arabic, which is the second most difficult language in the world. And while they were there, it was an intense time of civil war and conflict all around them. In fact, they had to be evacuated 4 times. And their three children were born during the 17 years they lived there.
Wow.
Their focus was on leadership development, and they also supported both refugee and Lebanese communities of faith. And on top of that, Cheryl pioneered a new prenatal clinic for Syrian refugees.
Wow. That was a dangerous time. Did they stay there?
Well, after the conflict kept going on and escalating, they were sent to Jordan for 8 years. There they developed 2 community centers in different areas of Jordan, and they offered English classes, health training, how to prepare and market local handicrafts, as well as being involved in the local church.
Wow. My husband has been to Jordan, and he loved the people there. What did they do next?
Well, the mission had a new opportunity to go to Kurdistan, Iraq. So they sent Daryl and Cheryl there to open up this new ministry and to train 3 new couples to carry it on after they left. After 2 years, they were sent to North Africa for 4.5 years. And there they did a similar thing in opening up a new work and mentoring 4 couples as they learned language and trying to adjust to a challenging culture.
Right.
The family place there was a cafe, and they offered sports training and other activities for families so they could be connected.
Wow.
The last place they were sent was Berlin, Germany, but I think you know more about that, Karen.
Yeah, I do know something about that, but before we go on, why did they move so much?
The Fennessys were fearless, and they were willing to go wherever God would send him.
Wow.
Scripture says, how can they believe in God unless they hear about him? And how can anybody go to tell them unless they be sent? As sent ones, Daryl and Cheryl did just that. They pioneered new areas, and they spread the love of God in many countries, in both word and deed. And Scripture also says, how beautiful are the feet of messengers who bring the good news.
Right.
I think we should check out Cheryl and Daryl's feet while they're here. What do you say?
Sure, sure. Well, I came to know them about 3 years ago. They had actually retired here in Deltona, in Florida, and so I was going to be using them as a mission speaker. They thought that they were going to be retiring, and then the national office in Colorado got in touch with them and said, this is the time that Germany has received over 800,000 refugees, and there is so many needs there, and we once again want you to open yet another community center. And so that is where God called them next.
Wow, that must have been overwhelming with so many needs. Where would you start?
Yeah, it was. I know at the beginning they had a very difficult time even finding a place to rent, because landlords did not want to rent to anybody that was involved in refugee ministry. But they found a landlord that had a former Greek restaurant, and so he opened it up to them. They had a large meeting area where they had classes, learning German, but there's also that big kitchen, so whatever big events they had, they could host. There was tables and chairs set around so they could help them with their paperwork. Cheryl would counsel the women. So it was really an amazing ministry.
So what happened there when they retired?
Well, actually, they had met a couple and knew a family that they had known in the Middle East. And they had fled as well during the war and had gone to South America. And when Pastor George found out about the new ministry happening in Berlin, Germany, he knew God was calling him there. And so they actually passed the baton to Pastor George and his family.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So what are they doing now?
Well, they actually are going to be retired quote unquote,
Yeah,
as most
right.
people are, but they are involved in speaking in our Florida churches. They still go to Germany. They're involved in mentoring some of our missions candidates. They're promoting missions in their local church. And of course, they're in the right place at the right time with 6 grandchildren that they can visit.
Still busy people. Why should Shell Point people come to hear them?
Well, anybody that knows them will never miss an opportunity to come and hear them.
Yeah.
But Cheryl and Daryl, whenever you hear them, you go away and you've learned something, you've been challenged. And so Daryl on November 10th, on Sunday morning, will do the missions focus. And then in the evening at 6:15, Cheryl will be the main speaker. And there'll be an opportunity for people to give towards a missions project, and also they're going to have refreshments so that people have a chance to meet them. But any of us that have heard them are never going to miss an opportunity to hear them again.
You bet.
And those that don't, when they leave, they'll be glad that they came. So anyway, we're hoping to see you there, Carol,
You bet. I'll be in the front row.
and I'm going to join you.